introduce, but we have him now on the line. Confidence, very good morning to you, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Soto. Good morning to the listeners. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
So today we are talking about being able to work on your work ethic.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Working on your work ethic. You know, as human beings, we are gifted with talents and abilities. We are created to create things, to produce things, whether it be products, services, music, formulas, content, and so forth. We are designed to be productive and add value to society in different forms. And it's important that wherever we find ourselves, whether we are employed in the corporate sphere, whether we are working in a government department, or maybe we are self-employed or we are volunteering in the community, it's important that we work on our work ethic so that we become truly effective. And today I'd like us to discuss a few aspects pertaining to our work ethic. Number one, work on your attitude towards work. One of the greatest stumbling blocks to high performance and good work ethic is our attitude towards work. If you see your work as a drag, if you see it as a grudge, if you see it as something that is something that you really don't want to do, that attitude will affect how you do your work. See if you see it as something that is negative, you are likely to be lazy when you do it. When you see it as something negative, you're likely to procrastinate and have unnecessary delays. A negative attitude towards work is one of the reasons people don't excel or get promoted. If you're always complaining about your work, you create a barrier that stops your promotion. Nobody wants to promote negativity. Nobody wants to promote laziness. And if that's your attitude, you won't put the necessary hours towards it. You won't help your co-workers. You won't go above and beyond what is expected of you. And one of the things that I believe should inspire us to change our attitude towards work is the unemployment stats in South Africa. There are millions who would love to have your position. There are many people who are praying to have the opportunities that you have. They'd love to have a steady income every month. They'd love to be able to provide for their loved ones. So it's important to adopt an attitude of gratitude and start putting in the necessary effort. So number one, work on your attitude towards your work. Number two, work on your personal and professional growth. To develop a good work ethic, you have to develop your personal and professional skills. Sometimes we have the right attitude, but the wrong aptitude. We want to do well and excel, but there are certain personal or professional shortcomings that are inhibiting us. Maybe there are personal traits that you have that are preventing you from excelling. It could be that you lack the discipline to be consistent in your work, and so people can't rely on you, and that's creating a ceiling to your progress. Maybe you have a tendency to overpromise and underdeliver, and that's hurting how you are viewed and perceived by the people around you. Maybe there's certain skills you need to acquire to become better at your job. Perhaps you need to take a course in presenting or undergo professional upskilling through training and so forth. So it's important that each of us identify where we are lacking in our personal and professional development and then take steps to fill those gaps so that we can progress and excel. Sometimes we find ourselves doing work that we are not necessarily passionate about. But if we don't develop our skills, we may never progress and get the opportunities to do what we really want to do. Remember that our influence and impact grows when we grow and develop ourselves. So number two, work on your personal and professional growth. Number three, and lastly, work on your associations. One of the aspects that we often neglect to work on in the workplace is our associations and interactions with coworkers. We all need one another if we are to achieve great things. So we have to be conscious of how we interact and treat one another. Some organizations don't.
959. Apologies about that. Like I said earlier on, we are having a few issues when it comes to our system this morning. But you can carry on, Confidence. Thank you so much. You can carry on.
No worries. So some organizations don't thrive because you have people working together who are holding grudges and they end up sabotaging one another. Some people don't value their co-workers and they mistreat them, and there ends up being a lot of tension in the workplace. Some have a superman or superwoman syndrome, and they don't want to do they want to do everything themselves. They don't want to request help from anybody, and they end up fatigued and frustrated. Others want to hoard the credit when projects succeed, and they end up alienating their co-workers. We have to be mindful of how we interact and associate with others, because that can either hamper our progress or help us move forward. So number three, work on your associations. Working on your work ethic. That's it for today.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Confidence, and thank you for those pearls of wisdom. I know this morning was a little bit dicey, and with all the issues that we're having in terms of technical, but thank you so much for being able to join us.
No, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope that's added value to somebody. And I think the important one is working on our attitude towards work, because that really directs whether you progress. And like I say, sometimes we are in work situations or workplaces where we're not really passionate about it. But the only way you're going to move on and progress to better opportunities is if you work hard on where you are right now, because that is what will open the doors to the places that you really want to go to.
Amen. Thank you so much, Confidence. We are with you again next week, Monday.
100%. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was Confidence.